Ever wondered what separates the wildly successful from the rest? Here's the secret you've been waiting for. Picture this: some people seem to soar to incredible heights, building thriving businesses, breaking barriers, and achieving dreams that seem impossible, while others struggle to even get off the ground. What's their secret? Is it luck, talent, or some hidden formula only a lucky few possess? Not quite. The real magic lies in something called a growth mindset, and it's far more accessible than you might think. In fact, it's a lot like watching a tiny seed transform into a mighty tree. Intrigued? Stick around, because I'm about to break down how these two concepts are deeply connected in a way that's not only fascinating but also incredibly practical, especially if you're in the world of business. By the end of this, you'll see exactly how to nurture your own potential and watch it bloom into something extraordinary. The basics: what is a growth mindset, and why does it matter? Let's start with the foundation. A growth mindset, a term popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck, is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and skills aren't fixed. They can grow and improve over time through hard work, smart strategies, and learning from others. It's about embracing challenges as opportunities, pushing through setbacks instead of giving up, and seeing effort as the key to unlocking mastery. People with a growth mindset don't shy away from failure, they learn from it. They don't see criticism as a personal attack, they see it as a chance to improve. And they don't compare themselves to others in a way that breeds jealousy, they find inspiration in others' success. Now, let's bring in that seed analogy I mentioned earlier. Imagine a small, dormant seed buried in the soil. On its own, it doesn't look like much, just a tiny speck with no signs of life. But give it the right conditions: water to soften its tough outer shell, sunlight to fuel its growth, and nutrient-rich soil to nourish it, and something miraculous happens. That little seed begins to sprout, sending roots deep into the ground and a shoot upward toward the sky. Over time, with consistent care, it grows into a towering tree, bearing fruit or providing shade for generations. That process of germination and growth perfectly mirrors what a growth mindset can do for you. Just like that seed, you have untapped potential waiting to be awakened. With the right mindset, effort, and environment, you can transform into something truly remarkable. Why this matters in business: patience pays off. So, why is a growth mindset so crucial in the world of business? Let's think about it this way: waiting for success in business is a bit like waiting for your food delivery after a long, exhausting day. It takes time, and sometimes it feels like it's never going to arrive. But when it finally does, and you take that first bite of your favorite meal, it's all worth it. Business works the same way. Building a successful company, or even climbing the corporate ladder, requires patience, continuous learning, and a willingness to adapt. You can't expect overnight results. Instead, you need to nurture your skills, your team, and your strategies, just like you'd nurture a garden. Over time, with consistent effort, your little startup seed can grow into a thriving, blooming enterprise. But here's where the analogy deepens: just like a seed needs more than just time to grow, it needs the right soil, water, and sunlight. Business success requires more than just patience. You need the right environment, a supportive team or market conditions, resources, like funding or expertise, and strategies, like innovation or marketing. A growth mindset helps you create or seek out those conditions by encouraging you to learn, adapt, and keep pushing forward, even when the odds seem stacked against you. Diving deeper, the connection between growth mindset and seed germination. Let's zoom in on this connection between a growth mindset and the process of seed germination. A growth mindset is all about patience and perseverance. It's about believing that your hard work will eventually pay off, even if the results aren't immediate. You might face failures, setbacks, or moments of self-doubt, but instead of throwing in the towel, you keep going. You experiment with new approaches, seek advice from mentors, and learn from every stumble along the way. Seed germination, on the other hand, represents the tangible rewards of that patience and effort. It's the moment when your hard work finally breaks through the surface, when your business starts gaining traction, when your product finally clicks with customers, or when you land that big deal you've been chasing. Just like a seed needs time to push through the soil and sprout, success often takes time to manifest. But when it does, it's a beautiful thing to witness. However, there's a catch: patience alone doesn't guarantee success. Just as a seed won't grow if it's planted in poor soil or deprived of water, your efforts in business won't bear fruit if you lack the right resources or environment. For example, launching a startup in a saturated market without proper funding or a unique value proposition is like planting a seed in dry, rocky ground. It's going to struggle. That's why a growth mindset also involves adaptability and resourcefulness. It's about recognizing when conditions aren't ideal and finding ways to improve them, whether that means seeking out new opportunities, upskilling yourself, or building a better support network. Real-life examples, growth mindset in action. To really drive this home, let's look at some real-life stories of people and nations who've embodied a growth mindset and reaped the rewards. Marie Curie, the power of relentless curiosity. First up, let's talk about Marie Curie, a true legend in the world of science. Known for her groundbreaking work on radioactivity, a term she coined, Curie didn't have an easy path to success. She faced countless obstacles, from financial struggles to gender discrimination in a male-dominated field. Yet, she never gave up. Her mantra: "Nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood." That quote perfectly captures the essence of a growth mindset. Curie believed that challenges were opportunities to learn, not barriers to success. Her persistence paid off. She became the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and the only person to win Nobel Prizes in two different scientific fields, physics and chemistry. Imagine if she'd let setbacks stop her. The world might have missed out on some of its most transformative discoveries. How does this apply to business? Let's say you're developing a new product, and it's just not working out. The prototypes keep failing, the market isn't responding, and you're starting to feel discouraged. Instead of giving up, channel your inner Marie Curie. Keep experimenting, keep learning, and keep pushing forward. Failure isn't the end, it's just a stepping stone to understanding what works. Indra Nooyi, transforming PepsiCo with purpose. Next, let's talk about Indra Nooyi, the former CEO of PepsiCo. Nooyi is a shining example of how a growth mindset can transform an entire organization. When she took the helm at PepsiCo, she introduced a philosophy called performance with purpose. Her goal wasn't just to sell snacks and drinks, she wanted to make PepsiCo a leader in health, sustainability, and innovation. To do that, she fostered a culture where employees were encouraged to embrace change, take risks, and continuously improve. Under her leadership, PepsiCo expanded its portfolio to include healthier options, reduced its environmental footprint, and saw significant growth. Nooyi's approach shows how a growth mindset isn't just about personal success, it's about cultivating growth in everyone around you. Think of Nooyi's leadership like tending to a garden. You don't just plant seeds and walk away. You water them, protect them from pests, and give them the care they need to thrive. In business, that means nurturing your team, encouraging them to learn, innovate, and reach their full potential. That's how you create a company that doesn't just survive but thrives. South Korea, a national growth mindset. Now let's scale things up to a national level. The transformation of South Korea after the Korean War is one of the most stunning examples of a growth mindset in action. In the 1950s, South Korea was one of the poorest nations in the world, devastated by war and lacking resources. But through a collective commitment to education, innovation, and hard work, the country turned itself around. The government invested heavily in schools, technology, and infrastructure, while fostering a culture that valued learning and perseverance. Fast forward a few decades, and South Korea is now a global economic powerhouse, home to giants like Samsung, Hyundai, and LG. Their story shows how a growth mindset, applied on a massive scale, can lead to extraordinary results. More stories of resilience and growth. Let's add a few more examples to really hammer this point home. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, is a classic case of patience leading to success. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's persistence turned failure into a learning opportunity, and his eventual success revolutionized the world. Then there's J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before she became a household name, Rowling faced rejection after rejection from publishers. She was a single mother living on welfare, struggling to make ends meet. But she didn't give up. She kept writing, kept improving, and eventually found a publisher who believed in her vision. Today, her books have sold over 500 million copies worldwide. Her story is proof that a growth mindset can help you overcome even the toughest challenges. And let's not forget Oprah Winfrey. She started her career facing immense adversity, poverty, abuse, and discrimination. Early on, she was even fired from her first job as a television reporter, with her boss telling her she wasn't fit for TV. But Oprah didn't let that define her. She kept pushing forward, learning from every experience, and eventually built a media empire that made her one of the most influential women in the world. Her journey shows that setbacks are just setups for comebacks when you have a growth mindset. Applying this to your own life, how to grow like a seed. So, what does all of this mean for you? How can you cultivate a growth mindset and apply these lessons in your own life or business? Let's break it down into actionable steps. Embrace challenges, don't run from tough situations. See them as opportunities to grow. If a project at work feels daunting, dive in and figure it out as you go. Persist through setbacks. Failure isn't the end, it's a lesson. Like Marie Curie, remind yourself that nothing is to be feared, only understood. See effort as the path to mastery. Success isn't about being born talented, it's about putting in the work. Focus on performance with purpose, as Indra Nooyi did. Value learning and innovation. Keep educating yourself, whether through books, courses, or mentors. Look at South Korea, they turned education into a national priority and reaped the rewards. Stay patient but proactive. Just like a seed takes time to sprout, success doesn't happen overnight. But don't just sit back, actively seek out the resources and conditions you need to grow. Let's make it personal, your turn to reflect. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever faced a challenge that felt impossible but pushed through anyway? Maybe you started a side hustle that took months to gain traction, or maybe you learned a new skill after countless hours of practice. What kept you going? Or, if you're still working toward a goal, what's one thing you can do today to nurture your own growth? Drop your stories in the comments. I'd love to learn from you, and I'm sure others would too. Wrapping it up, keep nurturing your potential. The journey from a dormant seed to a thriving plant is a powerful metaphor for what a growth mindset can do. It reminds us that growth is a process, one that takes time, effort, and the right conditions. Whether you're launching a business, climbing the career ladder, or just trying to become a better version of yourself, remember this: you have potential waiting to be unleashed. Keep nurturing it with patience, perseverance, and a willingness to learn, and soon enough, you'll see yourself bloom into something extraordinary. Thanks for joining me on this journey. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on how to grow and succeed. And always remember, just like a seed, you've got everything you need to thrive inside you. All it takes is a little care and a lot of grit. See you next time.